Hello, I'm Virginie Blo, PXM evangelist at Akinio. PXM is a journey, going through each step, having your vision in mind, sharing it with all the teams involved throughout the product lifecycle is the winning ticket. I'm so happy today to welcome Gareth Trent. He is the merchandise analyst and master data lead for JD Group in South Africa, and he will tell us more about their journey to unlocking their omnichannel growth through the PXM path. Hello Gareth, so happy to have you. I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your background and your mission at JD Group.
Thank you, Virginie. It is so great to be here and to be a part of this. As you mentioned, my name is Gareth. I'm the merchandise analyst and master data owner for the JD Group. I've been with the company for about 10 years, moving around in different departments. But for the last 2 years, I would say, I've been looking after product master data, as well as enriched data for our websites that our customers get to interact with every single day. My personal mission at the JD Group is to ensure that our product data meets world-class standards. I think that it's so important to showcase your products in the best possible way. Obviously, on an e-commerce platform, which is different from a store, customers don't really get to interact with people who can explain the products to them. So it's important that the data about our products acts like a salesperson for our online stores. And that's a key deliverable from my perspective. And then finally, it's to create a platform where customers can come and interact with our products, can browse our products, rather than just coming in and checking out and buying.
Yeah. You also have physical stores, so maybe tell us more about the JD Group itself. How are you organized? For the digital part too, do you have a common team? Does each team or each website, each brand work separately? Tell us more about the group and how you organize.
Sure. So the group itself is split into two divisions. The first division is our consumer electronics and appliances division, and it consists of two retailers, Incredible Connection, who is the leading, I would say, consumer electronics retailer in South Africa, and Hi-Fi Corp, which serves mostly home appliances as well as TV and audio to the middle and upper market. So that's the focus market of the consumer electronics division. Our second division is our traditional retail division, and that really serves furniture products and home appliances to the mass middle market. That division comprises of 4 brands. It's Russell's, Bradlow's, Rochester, and Sleep Masters, which is a specialist bedding retailer. And the brands themselves are segmented to target a specific segment of the market, and really their product offering is obviously split to ensure that the products are relevant to the segment that they're specifically targeting. Each of those brands operate a full e-commerce website. We use Magento 2 as our e-commerce platform, and all 6 of the brands have a fully functional, fully operating e-commerce site, as well as you mentioned, we're an omni-channel business, and our really core business until we went online was in brick and mortar, and we operate roughly 1,000 stores across the 6 brands in 4 different territories in Southern Africa.
Yeah, so talking about omnichannel, what was your main challenge, your most important bottlenecks, if I may say?
I would say that the biggest challenge that we experienced when we first launched the e-commerce platform was that our data was segmented and was all over the place. We would have certain data in our ERP, certain data in our in-store ticketing system, certain data in our print catalog system, and then obviously Magento, where we would have the enriched product data. Now, all of the enriched data really resided in Magento and was not accessible or used in any of our other channels. And what we were finding with this data being so segmented is that you would have different users accessing the different systems, and you would have data that gets updated because it's incorrect, but it gets updated in one place and not another because they're different teams. And there's just information out there that's giving incorrect marketing messages and inconsistent marketing messages to our customers. Some of the data is not necessarily even consistent, but it's sometimes in some of the channels was blatantly wrong because it just wasn't corrected in the other channels. And that caused a lot of miscommunication between the teams. There was silos happening all over the place, and really everybody was just functioning in the streams that they were focused on. And we really needed to create a consistent experience for customers across all of our channels, for online, in-store, as well as our catalogs.
So as you mentioned, at the end of the day, this can have a bad impact on your brand images for the different brands. So, and the other thing, Gareth, is that you mentioned the customer experience, but we often forget the user experience, all the teams involved in crafting the best product experience. How did you succeed in having them on board? How did you earn their buy-in once you had that vision in mind? How did you do that?
So I'm going to address this just in sort of two phases, if I can.
Yeah.
So the first decision phase, our discovery phase of our project, we try to involve users sort of across the broad spectrum of our buying team primarily, because they would be the users that would be interacting with the system the most frequently. And we try to cater for users that were at both ends of that spectrum, both very technical and had high technical competence, and those that maybe didn't have such high technical competence. And we felt that if we could implement a system that was simple enough for any user to use, but also versatile enough for somebody that would want to make use of its advanced features, and that the system would have the versatility to do that, we felt that that would be a great way to go about getting buy-in from the buying teams. So we involved those stakeholders at the inception and really got a lot of their feedback in that process. Then in our implementation phase, we really involved even more of the buying team, because as you would know, in setting up a PIM, there are data structures and data models that need to be set up, and in some cases, there's careful thought needs to be put into the attributes that you choose for the specific families, how you segment the families into their different buckets, and make sure that there's no overlap or optimizing the data that should be captured for each family. And we made each of our sort of lead buyers the owner of a specific family. So we consulted with them widely, had a lot of workshops. We went through each family, asked for their advice, their opinions on what should be in and out of a family, what should be optional, what should be mandatory. And they took full ownership of their families. And this is a process that actually continues today. I mean, as you would know, a business grows and you have to add new families all the time. And we consult with these key stakeholders even today. We get them to come in, they sit down with us, we have a look at the family, look at the attributes, and really get their subject matter expert input on how we craft the families. And my role then is really just to challenge the thinking, get them to think a little bit out of the box, think a little bit forward, bring people, because we've originated in a brick and mortar sort of setting, is to bring them now to online and say, okay, well, how are we going to display this product in such a way and let customers interact with it in a way that is easy and that gets them the information that they need.
So you anticipate and you orchestrate in a way for all the teams. How many people are working daily in Akinio? Can you tell us that?
Absolutely. So in our structures, we have a central admin team that basically captures the basic data about the product. They will then send the product through for approval. The approval team will then approve the product and review it, and then that will then get enriched thereafter. And that sort of daily usage is about 30 users in the PIM that are actively using it every single day.
Okay.
There's a lot more sort of less frequent users in the PIM, but I would say 30 is every single day. There would be no less, I would say, than 30 users that are actively using it. And we have a catalog of around 40,000 products at the moment in our PIM that we are working with.
And so prior to that, Gareth, just to share your experience, because that's also important for people listening to us, what were the bottlenecks, the real bottlenecks, slowing down the business?
So previously, like I mentioned before, we operated very much in silos. We had a system which had its own set of data which gave product data to our various channels. We had a sort of manual smart sheet that people would capture basic information on. Then the master data team would take that information and recapture it in SAP, which is our ERP. The data would then go to Magento and we'd enrich it separately there. The in-store price ticketing system would get a little bit of information from the capturing smart sheet that we used. And then we had a completely different system for our price tickets, our in-store price tickets. And as they found things that were wrong, they updated it only there. And as a result of this, it takes a very long time for a product to actually get to market, because the people that have the knowledge about that product actually have all that information right at the very beginning. And that was probably our key learning for us, was to get that the product creation happened upfront in PIM. And that also helps us to drive tremendous buying in our business. So the product originates in Akeneo first. We enrich that product based on the data that SAP, our ERP, needs. And that actually integrates into our ERP. We get the product ID back from SAP. And then the teams go about enriching that product and making it ready. And once that product is fully enriched, it will then be distributed to our in-store system. It gets distributed to our OneCom print system, and it also then obviously gets integrated into Magento, which is where our customers experience our product online. And that's really helped us to get collaboration among the teams, to get the teams that are using the tool and that have input on the data. It gets everybody to access it in one central place. And if something goes wrong, the people that have 100% influence on how to fix it have access to that data. And I can't stress enough how much value that has given us as an organization. And enrichment only starts once the product is created in our ERP, and that really, really helps us to drive traction with the system and collaboration among the various teams.
Yeah, it just like listening to you, just like everybody now speaks the same language. So that's ease the relationships between teams and people. Do you have some results, concrete results that you could share with us, Gareth?
Sure. So in our previous way of working, it would probably take us on average around 6 to 7 days to actually get a product through the whole process, fully enriched, enabled, and that was almost the fastest we could get it done. Because everything was so segmented, and we had long wait times and lead times between the data would be in the various places, that we could start working with it. And now on Akeneo, if we have an express priority product, we could get a product live in as little as 6 hours. Because all of the data that is being captured for the fully enriched product can be captured at the same time that the data is captured for ERP. And once that has approval, it can all synchronize to the various systems. And as long as that product is complete, we can have that product live in a very, very short period of time. Another key result that we've noticed is that we've been able to grow our catalog at a very, very rapid rate. And that's really due to the ability for us to capture all of this information in a quick and easy way, and to get that integration between the systems. I don't think that without the integration into our ERP, I don't think we would be able to achieve what we've achieved. We've grown our catalog from about 6,000 to 7,000 products that we have had active online at the time. We're about to launch a new brand which will boast a catalog of close to 20,000 products. And that's been in the last couple months. So the teams have put in a tremendous effort, and it's to be commended, but we wouldn't have been able to do that without the backbone of a competent system to enable us. From a data quality perspective, this will obviously increase because of the amount of people that have access to this data. They can see whatever errors there are or issues there are. And Akeneo is referenced anytime something is wrong on the website. We can immediately go into Akeneo, you can see it's wrong there, fix it there, and the next integration happens, and the product is fixed. So it really, really puts the data quality and helps us to fix that far quicker than we could ever do previously. Obviously, the teams are more motivated and they're more productive because they're able to access what they need to access. They're able to complete that product in terms of their piece that is relevant to them, thanks to the attribute groups. It helps a lot. And it helps our teams to really just get that product enrich this as quickly as possible. Um, Obviously, the roles have been refined, and the process, fixing our process, has really helped us to get clarity and to get collaboration among the various teams.
Really, listening to you, it's really like you have succeeded in involving people, you know, making them responsible of their data, the accuracy of data, the quality. They know that that's their job. Yeah, that's the part of their daily job. So that's
Sure.
great. So now you really have built a strong foundation, and you're becoming more and more mature with the product information. What would be your next step, maybe to grow, to still grow?
So I think we've built a very, very strong foundation, and we need to now move from the absolute requirements, the must-haves, to the nice-to-haves. We need to now start looking at how we can refine these processes and improve our products so that they create great experiences, both for our customers, external and internal customers, our staff and our employees. We have great ability to scale with Akeneo. We've seen that. I mentioned we're launching a new platform shortly in the next few weeks, and we would not have been able to scale and open a new business which shares so many of the products with our existing businesses without having all of that data already there. It has saved us such a tremendous amount of time and effort in having to collect all of this data and make sure that it's ready for the new platform. We can just open a new business, have all the information available, and immediately just integrate that with the new platform. So I know I'm making it sound a lot simpler than what it was. We know we'll have challenges when we launch new things. However, I don't think that launching products to this catalog would have been as easy as it was if it was not for Akeneo.
Yeah, and maybe talking about Akeneo itself, do you plan to use maybe new features that you have not yet the opportunity to try or to use?
Absolutely. We very, very much are looking forward to the new features that we'll be launching soon. We'll be looking out for those very keenly. We're unfortunately only on the 3.2, but that was due to a big M2 implementation. We moved over to Magenta 2 last year. So there was a lot of technical focus there, but we will be upgrading hopefully soon.
Ah.
And I think the most exciting feature that we have to look out for is the new asset manager, being able to manage videos and documents. We would like to enhance our customer experience with videos, as well as with user manuals where applicable. We sell a lot of appliances, so I know I've scourged the web on numerous occasions hunting for a manual that I couldn't find. And it would be very, very useful if customers could find that right on our website. So those are some exciting features we're looking out for.
Yeah.
We're also looking to integrate into our training platform. We have a large amount of store staff that would need this information just for product training. And all of the information exists, a lot of it from the supplier inside of the PIM, and there's no reason why we can't provide that to them in their training platform and giving them that product training information.
I really love that.
Straight from Akeneo.
Yeah, good idea.
Absolutely. And again, that's consistent data, consistent marketing messages to our customers, and we start to speak the same language. And that helps our customers to trust us because they believe that we know what we're talking about, and they'll find a similar experience no matter which channel they find themselves engaging with.
Thank you so much. To finish this conversation, Gareth, which was really, really interesting, what could you share with our audience, people from the community, maybe who are about to start new project, thinking about upgrading? What would you like maybe that someone have told you before you start your project? What would be your 3 key takeaways, Gareth?
I think I would break this down into 3 main sort of categories. The first being process, then technology, and then people. We've spent a lot of time fixing our processes first. If you don't fix your process, you're just trying to systemize and automate something that's already broken, and you're not going to fix anything just by putting in a system. You have to think carefully about your process, think about your workflows, think about the optimal way to get this information out as quickly as possible. So even before we engaged with Akeneo, considered Akeneo or any other PIM platform, we started working on our processes and built some small systemic systems or processes to automate the processes
Yeah.
that we had fixed. So strong focus on process. Think carefully about your attributes, your families, your data models and structures. Don't be overly eager to get product in, thinking, we'll put it in, we'll have something for now and we'll fix it later. Think carefully, spend the time, think carefully about the attributes, the attribute types, what belongs to a product, and spend a lot of time on that. We did, and I can tell you we are reaping the rewards for that. Take your time with that. Get the data right from the start. You don't want to be having to fix a lot of data later. And then obviously get buy-in from your stakeholders. And by involving them in that data modeling process, you will get a lot of buy-in because people see that they hear you, you understand the requirements, and you're actually implementing their requirements when you implement the system. So obviously the second aspect would be the technology. Like I mentioned, you've now fixed your processes, and now you want to automate the processes or put a technology in that's going to bring these processes to life and is going to assist you in your journey. And from a technology perspective, I can't stress enough how important adoption is. I think we've dealt with that a lot during this presentation. But also, the move that we made to make Akinio the birthplace of our product, that nothing gets created in our business before it's created in Akinio first. That has driven adoption tremendously. I know we haven't given them much choice, so even if they didn't like the solution, they would have no choice but to use it. But it really forces that engagement with the platform and almost channels all of the collaboration that we envisaged when we started the project. Obviously, having a vision and sharing that vision with your key stakeholders is exceptionally important, that they understand what you want to achieve. When you start an online platform, it's not just, can't keep doing the same thing that you did in the stores. Customers interact with products very differently.
Exactly.
And you have to make that clear that this is new. We can't continue doing things the same way that we have. And this is what we're going to do to assist you in that journey of moving just from a brick and mortar retailer into an online platform. And then finally, the people aspect. I've mentioned that you need to make them aware of the vision. They need to have a clear understanding of their role in the enrichment journey. If you don't understand what your role is in this journey, then you can't hold people accountable. And at the end of the day, you're always going to have this, sort of finger pointing, he did, she did.
Yeah, conflict.
Absolutely. And people need to take ownership of their data. And that's one of the big drivers that have assisted us in that journey, is that people have started to take ownership of their data. If something is wrong, they don't pick up the phone and phone somebody to fix it. They log into Akinio and they fix it. And they see that then transpires onto the web. So that has assisted us tremendously. It takes away the misunderstanding. And the clearer the process is, and the clearer the people understand their role in the process, the more people will buy into it, and the more collaborative your efforts will become.
I couldn't agree more, Gareth. I really, really want to thank you. This is priceless. You're a real PXM advocate. You tell it so well. So thank you very much, Gareth. Thank you.
Thank you, Virginie.
And thank you for watching this video. I hope you appreciate all these precious insights. I definitely encourage you to check out all the new Akinio features that Gareth mentioned, because our product teams will introduce you everything you need to know about the new features, but also other people from the community will share a lot of their experience with you in other videos. Thank you.